you talk about a hero, you're talking about an individual or group of individuals that courageously put themselves at risk because they are emotionally moved by the suffering or conditions of someone outside of themselves.
I would say it this way. I would say we do it because what they find that their actions, when they take these actions, they find these answers and actions to be some of the most meaningful things they've ever done. And that question of meaning is really important. In your website or LinkedIn page, for example, Bobby, you say, how can we create meaningful, lasting change? Which is kind of the question you're asking. It's all about finding meaning. Yes, it's about overcoming emotions. It's about overcoming fear. Yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right. But if I may, it's deeper than that. It's going deep into your soul and figuring out what makes you tick. When you look at the mirror in the morning, what looks back at you? You want to see that what looks back at you means something, that you're not been put on this planet for no reason whatsoever. I mean, that would be like a fancy Swiss watch with no hands. It wouldn't make any sense. So you're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. And when you find that purpose in some kind of giving back, in some kind of service, if you will, in some way helping solve tough public problems that benefit other people, it locks you in. I mean, it's by far the most important path to meaning that there is. And I've been looking at this for 44 years now. Uh, where does meaning come from? Well, for most people, sooner or later, it comes from some kind of service. Yeah, I know. I got plenty of friends who are finding the meaning for their lives right now at this point in their lives through amassing money and power, and that's fine. At least it's fine for a while. But in all my experience, I found that the real source of meaning comes from some kind of giving back. And
Okay,
I say that from my own personal life too, because I wasn't that way for a long, long time.
that is something that I want to explore because you said something that is pretty interesting. I want to go to your bio because the words that stuck out for me was passionate involvement. Like those words moved me. And you're talking about a deeply rooted sense of meaning guiding your life. And a lot of people, when you talk to them about this, it's like, I don't know what's most meaningful. I don't know what my purpose is. I'm not sure what my values are. But I think I heard you say something quite interesting where it comes from service. So it's not what I think I'm hearing is not just that you have this deep rooted sense of meaning and it causes you to act on that in the world, but if you go out and act and engage in the world, that will help you find your sense of meaning. Do I understand that?
Oh, that's precisely right, and it really answers the question you put in your LinkedIn page about how can we create meaningful, lasting change. That's how. That's how. And I've seen it happen so often that I have no fear of saying flat out, yeah, I'm 83 years old and I'm pretty well convinced that's the way to a meaningful life. And I'm also very aware because I speak, or at least to a lot of corporate audiences, business audiences before COVID, I was running around the planet doing a lot of stage stuff. Now it's social media. But looking at all this stuff and the word service, I'm very quick to say this does not mean sackcloth and ashes, Bobby. It doesn't mean becoming Mother Teresa. You find service in all the ways that make sense to you. For example, if you're really good at math, for example, then maybe you become an engineer and you do something as an engineer that's a real service, perhaps making sure that bridges are constructed with the proper bolts or whatever. Or you have a musical bent, so maybe what you do is you create music that gives enormous pleasure to people. That's a service, etc., etc. Or if you're a business people, I keep telling business people all the time, look, if you make a really good product, sell it for a fair price under fair labor conditions, good environmental conditions, and are a good neighbor to the communities in which you operate, that's a service. That's a service, and don't think it isn't.
So
Uh,
service in your definition, and I love it, is doing what you do to the best of your ability with an intentionality around contribution. Like
Correct.
that's what the world needs more of.
Absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. I would say it with a few with fewer words, but you're absolutely right, Bobby. It's just it's doing things that are meaningful, that make a difference, that help solve problems. I'm a I'm a real problem solver. I always have been, and I'm pretty good at it. And man, I've tried to solve problems the wrong way for so long I can't count. But I'm convinced now that real problem solving is looking at real problem solving in terms of finding meaning in your life is about finding some way of giving back some form of service. And again, it's not sackcloth and ashes. It's taking a look at your own, at who you are. It's taking a look at your own skills, your own resources. I mean, there's a reason why an eagle has talons, for example. There's a reason why, there's out of nature, there's a reason for everything. And, um, and for human beings, there's a reason why you have a great gift for mathematics, why you have a musical bent, why whatever you are, you have a certain education. These should be pointers to you as to certain directions you might look at to find that service. I say that from my own personal life too, because I wasn't that way for a long, long time.
That is something that I want to explore because you said something that it's pretty interesting. I want to go to your bio because the words that stuck out for me was passionate and find your sense of meaning. Do I understand that?
Oh, okay.
To tune into our creativity, what
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's like my wife's motto. John, thanks for coming today. It was great having the conversation with you. I think we can all say that.